Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful. When the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, everybody. It is the 28th. Sorry I'm a little bit late. Just a rough morning. A bunch of stuff coming up while I'm getting ready. I have to take the trash out. I have to do all this stuff. Anyways, yesterday was a real doozy, and right now they are pushing lows. I am not sure how much we will actually be playing today because it is just a complete mess out there. Let me show you. Here's the charts. So here in the E-mini, just a real bender move down. And now today, a little bit of extension. I mean, they recovered it a bit, but they're already selling now. Want to point out here, NASDAQ very weak on this move. It's not the weakest the NASDAQ has been, but it's pushing there. Treasuries yesterday, though, did after an initial move up, coming back, which is extremely concerning. And if the Treasuries continue to move down today, I'm going to be very, very concerned. You can also see there was a little bit of steepening on that, although that has come off. That's good. Oil just getting decimated last night. So the equities came back, but oil did not. Oil demand thought to be very weak. Gold also getting creamed as the dollar moves up. So here again, gold not acting as a very effective safe haven right now. Copper down, but not too much. And of course, the dollar hitting 93.7 now, another high. Looking pretty strong. And I'm a little concerned because I just, well, we got earnings, so earnings can really help moderate this for sure. And the earnings have been good. But, other than that, I don't really see a reason for any of this to change until after the election, right? So that's not particularly encouraging, is it? And I guess we should acknowledge, even though I mean it should be obvious if you were watching yesterday, but the markets are down because of lockdown restrictions in Germany and France. So here we go. Win, good morning. It's good, isn't it? Aside from the news, market, COVID, and the protests, plus the holidays coming up. I keep forgetting about the protests. It sounds like it's getting worse in Philly. And that we got the same stupid police chief that they had in Portland, and that they are like just letting, catch and release and not really doing anything about it. It's kind of a bizarre thing, but and I don't think that this is good for Democrats in Pennsylvania. But it seems like that this thing is just beyond their control. Okay, so we got the news coming in. Jobless claims. We're looking for initial jobless claims of 775K. Okay, it is 751. So a little bit lower than expected, and the 4-week average is a little bit lower than expected as well at 787 versus a previous of 811. And the continuing claims 7,756 versus 7,700. So a little bit better than expected, but mostly in line. Okay. And the index is pretty quiet. That move down did bring the cost averages with it. Which means if they decide to move back up, I guess 3280 would make sense, but probably there's not a whole lot to stop them from moving lower. And the Treasury, since they've opened, have been down again today. But they're in the middle of the zone. I could probably try and take this one either way. The the market orders definitely it's a sell.
Winston's mom says I have looking online on YouTube, trying to find out people find channels that go live. Have you looked into or asked how your viewers find you? Maybe we could clip and then ask on the upload.
Well, I mean, I can see how viewers find the channel overall. I don't know about the live streaming part. The thing is we tend to get up to 50 viewers a day, and I don't know where they come from. I mean, not all of them talk for sure, of course, but I'm assuming that a substantial portion, maybe a quarter to a third of them are newer viewers every day, but I could be wrong about that. Could be the same 50 people every day. Um, I have found though, I'm not sure there's a whole lot you can do for the live streaming. I've found some live streams that are streaming like stocks and stuff and that are really big, and I don't know how they do it. Especially since the content on those channels is like non-existent. So I don't know what they do, but in terms of overall channel growth, which, you know, the thing is I don't really care how many people watch it live. In fact, I think that it's better that we have like a good 50 viewers watching this live, but then, have a larger audience for the main channel. That's the best situation for us because we don't necessarily want our trades to get crowded, right? So, yeah. Okay, so the indexes are moving up a little bit. There's quite a bit of bubbles and so forth in there. It's interesting. I'm thinking about taking this down a notch. Like, if I take this to like 15, that might be like too zoomed in. I don't know. It makes sense, or should I say cents and hopefully dollars. The interval width doesn't actually make it as wide as I thought it would. What if I go 100? That's interesting that it changes the width of this, but it doesn't change the width of the bars. I think that the Vista chart could be better, but that's okay. All right, let's go check Twitter. The value trade today over at the ECB Central Bank is to buy the Bund BTP spread. Note with lockdown in March, DAX risk leadoff shortly after the Bund BTP spread widened aggressively. We are likely to see 1.6% in days ahead as Europe again locks down. This will take the euro to 1.15. Whoa. He says one spot. If they take the Euro USD spread to 1.15 and it's at 1.17 right now, that's an aggressive move. Okay. Now equity is making a pretty good move back up, but the treasury's only kind of reacting to it. The president has not tweeted in 9 hours. Well, maybe he's asleep. I don't know. I think that a lot of the overnight tweets are like, oh man, hold on. I think that a lot of the overnight tweets might be
Sergio Ortega says morning.
like pre-planned, scheduled tweets, especially the ones that are like promotional or
Winston's
pushing
mom
an
says
issue.
good morning, Sergio Ortega.
Okay, well, that was a pretty solid move up there. I didn't see a whole lot of sweeping or large orders or anything like that. Yeah, I forgot about the PCE
Christopher Garcia says morning.
prices. All kind of mixed. So I'm not quite sure what it was about that news that they liked so much. Was it the GDP? GDP growth rate 33.1
Winston's mom
versus an
says good
estimated
morning,
31.
Christopher Garcia.
That would make sense. You're not a Christopher Garcia that I know in real life, are you? I was just thinking about that. I was like, wait, I worked with a guy with that name.
Winston's mom says U.S. GDP rises record 33.1% annual rate in third quarter October 29, 2020 at 8:32 a.m.
Huh. Where's this? Okay, so that filled a little too easily. Let's see here. So we were talking about why the rates weren't, why the treasuries weren't buying yesterday.
Winston's mom says MarketWatch U.S. continuing state jobless claims falls 709,000 to 7.76 million as of October 17 DJIA minus 3.43% October 29, 2020 at 8:32 a.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah. Anyways, we were talking about the treasuries not moving up yesterday. And I was saying maybe it's because they think that there's going to be more supply coming in because of the Germans going into lockdown. So Jay Johnson says, I think Seth is right here. The direct supply and long bonds should reflect to some extent inflation risks from the same fiscal stimulus. A lot of changing political positioning towards MMT from both parties. I hate when people call any time that we want to do fiscal stimulus MMT. I don't think that that's MMT. I think that MMT is when they say that in fact what we're seeing in the treasuries basically contradicts MMT. If we're correct, then the treasuries are saying that the market cannot handle much more government debt and that they're going to start raising the interest rates on them, and that could cause a lot of market havoc if it continues. I should also say, with the positioning that heavy, if equities really keep pushing, could lead to a short squeeze that would be interesting. It also seems many rate traders have been bemoaning the general lack of market since the Fed boxes it all out, low volatility, etc. Yeah. Well, it's not low volatility that bothers me in the treasuries. It's when you really it's when low volatility would be great as long as you understand why it's moving in when it's in low volatility, and that's been hard lately. And I think a lot of it is currency. So right now the dollar index is coming back a little bit. Well, the E-mini took a really good run there, but it's already fallen back down awfully quickly. That must be why we're moving over here. Turn that back on. No, look at that. That was a real slip. Another. Well, I might have already missed it. Where'd have that 3 print there? What the heck? Okay. Oh, the ECB interest rate decision is coming at 6:45. That's not normal, is it? They will have the press conference. Wow. Oh, this is going to be messed up. Right. So because of daylight savings time differences between the US and Europe, normally the ECB press conference would be already started. But instead,
Winston's
it's
mom
going to
says
start
what I am reading
when
is
the
Wednesday's
market
sell-off is due to the
opens.
virus returning and people have a sell first, ask questions later mentality and then
Oh,
they go to
totally.
Walmart and buy toilet paper. Lol.
Oh, totally. And I'm already reading stories predicting, shortages at the runs on the stores again, which just seems crazy to me. Not everybody learned their lesson last time, but whatever. Carry
Ace
rate
Trades says at
decision, no
Winston's mom morning
change.
love.
Yeah, yesterday's sell-off was definitely due to France and Germany doing the lockdowns. No question about that. I was really surprised looking both at Discord and some of the other places, the number of people trying to fade this thing. It's like, just doesn't make sense.
Winston's mom says good morning. My favorite fantasy dance partner online only misses Ace Trades. Lol and I hope your day is beginning well Ace Trades. Simsim says it's all psychological warfare. Lockdowns, fear, toilet paper runs.
I don't know, man. Why would Europe do that? I really don't think that Germany would destroy its economy to get Trump unelected. The reality is that those countries are running a serious risk of uh, reaching their
Ace Trades
hospital
says that
supply.
Winston's mom haven't lost money yet, so good so far. Need to leave to fix breakfast in a sec.
You did pretty good yesterday, though, didn't you? Well, I got that trade almost perfect, so I'm real happy about that one. I might have been able
Ace
to catch
Trades
it a
says
little
yeah,
lower,
it was
but
good yesterday. Have had a pretty good week.
good.
Winston's mom says have a nice glass of orange juice to boost your vitamin C levels. Ace Trades and stay safe out there.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it because I've been thinking about what are the different types of strategies that you use, and one strategy that I find is really common among retail traders is like a risk premia strategy, which basically means you're making money off of taking on excessive risk, like having a really wide stop or whatever the deal is, right? But then I look at your strategy and a couple of the good ones that do backtest well that I've found, and I think that they're the exact opposite. They're strategies that um, have a very little profit, don't happen very often, and the reason why they're still out there is because the what you take from them is so small that nobody really bothers to do it. Like 2 points on the E-mini is like nothing, right? I'm actually kind of surprised that it was still working as well as it did yesterday. But I guess as long as you were going short, you'd be fine, right? But there's got to be something else that you're doing about your selection that helps you avoid those turns, like the turn that I just caught there, right? Because I would think that you would be wanting to go short, you know. Well, I guess if you had taken off of that one, you would have gone short right here, and you would have gotten it. But here's like a great example of where it's like you might have gone long there, you might have gone long there, and would be frustrating, but you didn't take that one. And it makes sense. Like to me, it makes sense you wouldn't take that one, but I can't explain why, and I can't program it. The ECB, we continue to expect monthly net asset purchases under app to run for as long as necessary to reinforce accommodative impact of its policy rates and to end shortly before it starts raising interest rates. In the meantime, the ECB took the following monetary decisions: the interest rate on the main refinancing operations and interest rates on the marginal lending facility and deposit facility will remain unchanged at zero. The ECB too long didn't read. We'd be insane to do anything right now. We'll wait for the US election result and to see what EU nations are going to do on fiscal support for lockdowns. Come back in December and we'll have something to announce. There you go. But there's going to be a press conference right when the market opens. That's going to be real annoying. They did change their policy statement significantly, though.
Ace Trades says getting long 3272.00.
So I'm wondering, in a situation like that, how do you determine that it can go 2 more points? 72 was good though. You already got it. You got it. I hope you took that
Ace
one.
Trades says FOMO.
Just FOMO. Anytime that I take a trade like that, it just comes back in my face. I don't know. Sometimes, like the trade that I took, it just works out perfectly. But sometimes, sometimes I will pick the exact wrong spot every time, and I'll never get favorable ticks. So the treasury has been ticking really easily around in this area.
Ace Trades says ya, got my two. Done for the day.
I will see you a bit later then. I'm thinking about breakfast because I didn't have enough time to really make a good breakfast, and I've been smoking bacon. You just, because the best way to cook bacon, guys, is like in the oven. So if you put it on the oven, it just like it just cooks the whole thing perfectly, and you don't get like, I don't know, it's just like one consistent texture of like good bacon texture the whole way through. And you can easily determine what the level of doneness that you want. And when you smoke it, then it gets that smoky flavor in it too. And I really want smoked bacon right now. But no time for that. I mean, I got my 4 in the E-mini. I could be done. I think I'll take another one at some point. We'll see. The action so far hasn't been too bad. I don't like what it started doing up there at 32.75. The market ear says the only thing that matters is the press conference link from that ECB release.
Winston's mom says Simsum psyops or a pun on self-limitations.
Philly police ordered not to arrest looters. I'm sure that will work out well. 2 polls put Trump in range in Minnesota. Some of the polling is just starting to get downright confusing. So here they're saying Donald Trump is in striking distance in Minnesota. And by the way, if Donald Trump won Minnesota, that would be it. He would win, I think. So, 2 good ticks there. This is being very toxic in this area, though. If Trump won Minnesota,
Simsum
it'd be
says
over.
winking face.
But then there was this other one showing that Biden was winning in Georgia. Like, what? Georgia? So now I'm really starting to wonder, what is the true impact of like Trump voters lying to the pollsters? Because if Georgia is a relatively red state, I bet you'd get a lot of people that would do that sort of a thing. Could they all be saying they're voting for Joe Biden just to screw the poll up? That, if that comes out and it's not even, and the Republicans easily win Georgia, then I think that we would have to consider that that's what's going on. All of the polls show that the race is tightening for sure. Yes. Note that Kanye West is a candidate on the Minnesota ballot. West outpolls Libertarian Party nominee Joe Jorgensen. That's so funny. I have to say I'm not particularly wild about trading the 10-year treasury right now. I'm like, how did I do this before? Am I really that confident that they're going to continue pushing down in the 10-year? I don't know. I feel like it's a really tough call at the moment. The ZB does look like they want to go down. I don't know. But you can see they're kind of pulling at 25 and a few orders are hitting into it, but nothing is happening. And the E-mini is kind of drifting back and forth. Let's reset this over here. I can actually see that since we got out, there's been quite a bit of selling. In fact, where did I get in at? I got in at 65. Oh, really? Well, it went quite a bit further after I got out, I guess. See, that's not. I just can't handle it. Okay. There's an iceberg there, 25 half. I'm thinking no thanks. I'm starting to wonder, man. So a while ago, Gary Norton came out with his course, right? It's $1,000 course. I really like. I
Lobo
try
Trader says
to.
good morning. Hope
Good
all is
morning,
well.
Lobo. I've taken a lot of Gary's webinars and writings and so forth, and very much based a lot of my trading off of that. And so when he coming out with like a full course is like amazing, but it's $1,000, and people are like, well, I don't know how much you'd actually get out of it, and this and that. I read it. They posted a like an excerpt of the beginning of it, and even though it didn't really share anything with you, I just really liked what it was saying. I just really liked what I was reading. For whatever reason, it appeals to me, right? Um, but I'm starting to wonder now: is the thing that he shares with you really more about how to avoid the toxic fills? Like he's basically, I think that his idea is avoid the big traders and trade against the little guys. And so, what would be indications that it's only small traders in that area? So, I would think that something like large orders being placed on the limit, or big block trades being taken, or iceberging would all be indications that you don't want to trade that area, right? I'm thinking so. Um, which, especially in the treasuries, I've often been attracted to those areas. And then I've kind of turned into just ignoring that kind of thing. But now I'm thinking, oh, well, let's go back. We'll incorporate our news and look for places where you're not seeing that stuff. Hmm. Well, I'm glad I got out of that. Hmm. This is interesting. Among early voters, Trump trails badly at 64% to 26%. But Democrats are the ones turning out early, and John Budner calculates that Biden has to win 70% of the early vote. Wow. If that's the case, then the election day turnout could swap that lead, and that favors Trump by nearly 20 points, 54 to 35. 40% of all votes will come on election day, but only 31% say that they have already voted. Huh. But probably because a lot of them changed their minds about that. If elected, do you think Biden gets impeached if the GOP holds the Senate? Well, you can't. The House has to impeach. So remember that the House is the one that votes, creates the articles of impeachment, and votes to impeach, and then the Senate carries out the trial and votes on the trial. So unless the Republicans are going to take over the House here, I don't think that that is a likely situation. I am not entirely convinced that Joe Biden did anything explicitly illegal or impeachable. It might be a hard sell. His son definitely did things that were illegal. He's definitely done something that is dishonest and should give voters should be very concerned about, because it seems that he absolutely was using his office to make money and that he would sell us out to China. So, I think that it's a really good reason not to vote for Joe Biden, but I don't know if that would actually result in impeachment. I would have to um I would have to ask the Dershowitz what he thinks about it. Let's see here. Survey USA shows Biden and Trump even in favorability, 44-44, with Trump way ahead and extremely favorable, suggesting greater enthusiasm for Trump. Seems to me the numbers put Trump in striking distance, and if I were going to expect any big surprises here, it would be in the state that saw the worst summer rioting. Turnout is a huge wild card, and Minnesota always seems to disappoint Republicans, but this is one to keep an eye on. It's true. Republicans have been holding on hope in Minnesota. I remember when it was Romney and all of those, and they really tried hard, and they just it's never quite gone. Republicans have not won a statewide election in Minnesota in 14 years. Well, yeah, we should remain skeptical about that, is the point of that one. What about a contested election result? That could be chaos. Yeah, if there's a contested election result, the markets are gonna freak out for sure. Yeah, I definitely see that. Yeah. You know what? I want to change this chart over here. I'm just looking at it, and I've got a Bollinger Band on it, but I have a better Bollinger Band. And I'm wondering if I should. Well, we'll look at it. Okay, I want the lizard one. Multi Bollinger 2. And then I think there's a way for me to say channel. Oh, do it. I can turn off paint bars, right? Show paint bars. Oops, that was the wrong one. Oh, I hate the paint bars on this thing. That Norton guy seems 100% full of it. There aren't secrets in market making. That this is the most straightforward strategy, and profits are almost entirely driven by your cost structure and automation. Well, since we haven't read it, I can't really say. But here's a couple of things that I think we can say. First of all, he's put out two pieces of material. The one is the technical analysis exposed, and the other one is an Into the Bowl. That are two of the pieces of literature that I think you can read. Number two, he was a very professional trader, and he's held very high level positions in the trading world, so he definitely knows how to make markets. And three, the Jigsaw is a very has worked very closely with him and really values his experience and knowledge. And they don't just get together with anybody for to provide their education services. Like they did the Axia stuff. They're only going to get involved with the best, it seems. And so I think that must be something to it. But since I'm not willing to spend $1,000 on it, who's to say what the edge actually is? But like I was saying, I think that I'm going to bet that not everybody would read it and realize where the significant things that he's saying are. So when you're getting into market microstructure in particular, and you get it, it really turns into what is the chances that you get filled? Does that make sense? That's kind of where the game turns into. Is like, if I want to go short at 27, what are the chances that I can get filled at 27? And, like we've said this many times here, because there's more on 27 than there is at 26.5, I have a lesser probability of getting filled there, although it's pretty equal right now. But then if you do get filled, you don't want it to fill you and then go completely through you and tick through you. And that we call that toxic order flow, right? You don't want to be selling when there's toxic order flow. So there's a lot of scholarly research about this. If you want to get into it, the keyword that I would search for is what is it? Probability of informed trading. And there's like a volume bar probability. There's been a recent study where they've tried to create a metric that demonstrates this without tick replay, essentially. Basically just looking at a chart and volume to calculate the probability of informed trading. Although from the data that I've seen, but from what I've heard reported, apparently it's not super effective. Like it's not as effective as just reading the actual orders and the actual volume. So then the question becomes, okay, so when I'm watching this, what would tell me that there's a chance of getting a toxic fill at 27? Right. And Gary Norton talks a lot about avoiding the larger traders. And so I think that he probably has some really tiny little pointers on when you trade and when you don't trade that are probably more significant than people realize. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, if I'm seeing iceberging, I'm not 100% sure I want to mess in that area. Because that means that there's a big guy out there, and I don't know if I'm on his side or not. And that big guy could come out and create some toxic order flow or some sweeps and stuff. And I think it becomes even more poignant when you start looking at the E-mini. Because, man, when those sweeps come in on the E-mini, it's so annoying. So yeah. Anyways.
Guido Sledden says you can only avoid the large fill by looking if the limit orders are big. You can only know afterwards if you have been filled by a big order. Ace Trades says it Jeff Mormon, so the secret is that there is no secret?
I'm just saying there are signs of large traders out there, right? Large limit orders being placed, large market orders coming through the market. sweeps of multiple ticks at a time coming through the market, and icebergs. And and I and I'm saying I think that you could probably come up with a complicated set of rules to tell you when you should trade and when you should not, to help you select to trade more against small traders. Well, they ticked down at 26.5. Okay. So I was wondering, isn't there a way to add 2 on here? Oh, there's sound alerts. That's cool. Maybe I should try white.
Simsim says I think the idea is that you don't want to be leaning against large traders, because if you're wrong, another large trader can sweep the guy you leaned on, and so you get flush with them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's kind of the where I'm getting at. Or maybe not even as complicated as that. Maybe it could just be you're leaning on a large trader
Guido
and
Sledden says yes.
they're not actually positioning the direction that you think they are. So they can be very good at tricking you. And this is where I think that a lot of the ways that I originally was reading order flow, and that I think a lot of retail traders try to read order flow, can are not actually as effective as we think that they are. Like, one hard and fast rule would be that price should move with the cumulative delta. Well, not necessarily, because all of the cumulative delta is telling you is whether they use market orders or limit orders, right? If I see a move that went up and I don't see accompanying increase in cumulative delta with it, then that just means that it was the liquidity that pushed it up and the buyers were buying it all on the limit, you know? And because there's multiple ways of them doing something, there's no one set of technical indicators that can really truly tell you what they're doing, especially when you have multiple big guys all doing different things. So what I think what Gary Norton is trying to say is you don't even try and play that game. You just avoid the big guys and trade in spots where you know that the price that somebody is taking is silly. I thought that there was a way to add bands on this AMA multi deviation bands. Mean absolute deviation, multi-band period, blah, 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 blah. Maybe I just have to add 2 of them. Well, I will add 2 of them. But this one, I want my deviation period to be really high. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the way that I want it to look. Ah, yes. Okay, cool. Anyways, I don't know if the course is worth $1,000, but now that I'm going, kind of went down this rabbit hole. It's like I really want to try it again, but I need to spend my money on other things. We need to work on the market by order data. Speaking of which, I got everything set up with Ninja, so we got the indicators are like ready to be used. So you can go to speculators.com and look at it, and the lets you use it for 2 weeks, I think, free. And then after that, you have to be subscribed. You have to have an elite membership on the channel for access to them. But this weekend I'll be making some videos, and then uh, actually probably today and tomorrow I'll probably be making them, so that make some videos on how they work and so forth. And we're going to use that to develop some other more complicated indicators that we need some resources to be able to do. Well, it sure is. The market sure is quieting down, isn't it? We got a little bit until, yeah, got a little bit until the market opens. We got about 12 minutes until the market opens. And, you know what? 4 is not enough. Five standard deviation move. Better. What could go wrong for me? Take a position, overthink it, get out at a loss, and then play the if I would have stayed in, I would have made X game. Well, the thing is if you're getting in a random spot, you could probably sit down and say, if I stayed in long enough, I would have gotten X anyways, no matter what you did.
Live action says ing digging for worms.
Oh, really? Well, oil is still just a real blech. So yesterday I was talking to Mr. Patrick Rooney, and we were looking at oil, and I was like, how many stops do you think are below this area with 137? Or sorry, at 37 even. I was like, well, it doesn't look like they'd be able to get it today. And they didn't. But now in this new session, it's just been down, 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 down. Oh, you know what? I want to check something. I changed with the thumbnail on one of my videos. I wonder if we can see any change in the video.
Simsum says so. The question is, how do we know when we are trading against people on tilt, desperation as opposed to large players manipulators?
Yeah, exactly. So right here in the E-mini, there was an iceberg, and we're in the middle of this volume profile range. So I guess it's too early to tell. It looks like maybe it did a little bit better. I changed it from saying will markets crash if Trump loses to will markets crash if Biden wins, to see if changing it to Biden gives me better, because I'm not seeing. Okay, a few people are searching for if Trump loses. What happens if Trump loses 2020? But the ones that are like the top are like these names that nobody. I'm not getting the search results that I wanted on that video. By the way, Treasury has just kind of chopped back and forth here. I think that 27, 26 half area was actually looked pretty good if you wanted to go short. I'm still not sure if that's what I want to do. Oh, Donald Trump retweeted this guy that everybody was talking about yesterday. When he says he's the best president since sliced bread. What about Biden? That criminal. uh, this guy actually knows what's going on. That's interesting. Like, he's mentioning all of these news stories that a lot of people don't know about. That is a good video. I had seen people posting it, but I didn't watch it until now, and it is a good video. Okay, we still got 3 minutes. This the way that the market goes here on the open is going to be I don't know if I want to
Gary Rich
participate on
says it
this
live.
open.
If Hurricane Zeta would have just turned left in the Gulf towards Houston, would see all carbon reprice.
Oh, there you go. Oil looks pretty ugly right now, doesn't it? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'll just leave it in there. Oh, that's right. You know, I want to go and look here. Well, that's weird. It won't let me pull up the control center. No, that's right. Not right either. Something's wrong. Okay, here we go. So pretty fast on the open there. Difficult to determine the net volume on it. It looks like long, but it's a little unclear. Okay.
Ed Lammy says, morning Seth, is your eye okay?
It's fine. Is my eye doing something weird? One eye kind of droops a little bit, like the eyelid, but okay. So they're gonna probably have a little bit of trouble here now. Pretty good up movement so far, though.
Ace Trades says at ED Lammy way to be awkward.
Way to be awkward. Yeah, that turned out pretty good long, didn't it?
Ed Lammy says lol.
It's not the first time that I've been asked that, though. Because, like this, if I look here, you can see that this eye right here tends to be a little more closed than this
Jeff
one.
Mormon says one eye is red.
Oh, is one eye red?
Let's not make this personal, says Seth can't see it when he looks at the camera.
Wait. I'm gonna do this.
Let's not make this personal, says get closer.
Okay. I think
Ace
that
Trade
if
says why would anyone bring that up?
I don't know. It's funny. Some people, it's something
Simsim
that I
says
think is funny.
Gary Rich says as long as you don't act like a spaz, I'm okay.
Yeah. So you can see. Oh, wait. What the heck?
Let's not make this personal, says right eye on the right side is bloodshot to hell.
I'll be right back. That's
Ace
not
Trade
normal.
says all I see is a handsome hunk of man meat. Let's not make this personal, says broke blood vessel. Simsim says deep breaths. Gary Rich says wow, 2 pics of ugly.
Okay, no. You're right, dude. There's something fucking wrong with my eye. Dude, what the fuck? What the fuck? You see that? What the fuck? Yeah, yeah, I can't see it when I'm looking. I have to turn this over to here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ah. I'm gonna have to call my eye doctor here. When does that open
Gary
up?
Rich says wow, it's called an eyeball.
That I that's there's I mean it seems fine. I can see fine. Doesn't feel irritated. Yeah, let's see here.
Drajos your dash says thinking face dizzy face.
I know.
Ace Trades says were you
See,
with your
he's
eye all
fine.
day
He's looking
yesterday?
out for my best interests. He's actually looking and he's saying, "Hey, Seth, it doesn't look right." So in an hour, I can call him. Hold on a second. I'm going to see my wife.
Gary Rich says Seth, did you rub your butt and scratch your eye later? Let's not make this personal, says subconjunctival hemorrhage. Let's not make this personal, says most likely fine. Vlad Stolyarov says had power outage this morning that tropical winds.
Did you rub your butt and scratch your eye?
Gary Rich says
No.
let's tell him he has a spot on his face and it might cancer, call the dermatologist now.
Well, as soon as my eye doctor is open, I'm going to call them. It can look quite alarming, but it's usually harmless. Could be caused by rubbing your eye too roughly. Well, that sure came down. I was thinking about shorting it
Vlad
up there.
Stolyarov says blood clot.
But now that
Let's
I'm
not
all
make this
freaked out.
personal, says Seth. Check Discord.
What about Discord? Oh. Yes, he's given me a link to it, yeah. I was
Vlad
actually, I had
Stolyarov says
looked at
okay.
that same. I had looked
Gary
at that.
Rich says put
that
some
same.
Visine drops and call it a day.
Well, we're not going to take any more trades. I was really tempted. Let me show you. I've been doing some back testing, and I've found that when you get really extreme deviations, that you can kind of take them. And so I wasn't
Vlad
seeing a
Stolyarov
whole
says
lot.
put eye drops, they help ya.
Wasn't seeing a whole lot of crazy action up in here, so I was thinking, hey, I might be able to short it up here. I think it would have been a little wild, but it would have worked. Or I could have taken it as it came back across the open. Now that we're going down, well, 3260 is a spot for sure.
James Rice says demarcation cycle failure.
Yeah, see, they're going to slip through that because that's going to be some positions right there. How far they can go from there, who knows? So I think now that I'm a little freaked out by that, now that I'm a little freaked out by my eye going crazy, I think I should just sit out for a bit. I think I should just, I made a good trade, and we're okay. So we can be okay with $20. Yeah. That's so crazy. I wonder when that happened. Has it been like that the whole stream? Let's see here. Can we can rewind, can't we? Maybe we can see the point that it happened.
Jeff Mormon says yeah. Vlad Stolyarov says soldiers move on put ice 2 maybe.
Now I want to okay, so where's I go back to the beginning of the video here.
Gary Rich says I'm laughing how paranoid he is becoming.
It's pretty bad. Let's see here. Ah, I did. I had it from the very beginning. And nobody noticed until then. That's funny. Well, it's not abundantly clear. But yeah. You can definitely see it. If you can see it's
Gary
fine.
Rich says if you can
Probably.
see it's fine.
Oh my
Maybe
gosh.
you have COVID in the eye.
Oh my gosh. Right there at the beginning, you see it really clearly. You see it really clearly there.
Let's not make this
Maybe it
personal says
happened in my
probably happened in
sleep.
your sleep.
Yeah.
Vlad Stolyarov says remember oil broken a lot.
I do feel a little irritation up in here. I might have to go with I'll mount contacts for a few days or something. Well, we'll see what he says. But it does sound like it's a subconjunctival hemorrhage, which is probably okay. Problem is, it could be I am on relatively new contacts. If you need to rub your eyes gently.
Gary Rich says the layman term is bloodshot eyes.
Just seeing it kind of
Eric
makes me
McDermott
feel
says
like.
ultimate fighting on the side. $. Smiley face.
But you're right. I didn't notice it until somebody said something. Now that somebody said something, I was like, I can feel it. There's this big thing over
Let's
in my
not make
eye.
this personal says did you sleep in the contacts?
No, of course not. Okay, so they're turning
Let's
back
not
up
make this
here.
personal says do you use a mirror to put them in?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good point. I mean, I don't really look at it in the mirror. I do it if I feel. So I can't recall if I had it when I
Gary Rich
got
says
out
I
of the
hope
shower.
you didn't rub the bunny on your face. By the way, how is the bunny?
So the bunny has been moved into the garage for now because it got really cold, and we weren't confident that the shelter that we had for her out there was enough. We thought we had a little bit more time to build or something, but so she's in the garage. But I think that the bunny is quite happy with life now. I think that she liked being put outside. So yeah, that's an okay push back up. Now that's interesting. Why? Okay, we'll do this on an experimental account. Why is the 5-year and the 30-year dragging down, but not the 10? Is my data feed must be broken. I need to restart NinjaTrader here. That died easily.
Let's not make this personal says I could not help myself in Discord.
Yeah, you're fine. By the way, personal, have you gone and downloaded or are you not on NinjaTrader? Are you on NinjaTrader? You should go download the indicators and get that set up. That's freaky as hell.
Eric McDermott says dollar getting stronger thoughts.
Yeah, well, I was hearing some predictions for the euro that sounded pretty dire over there. I definitely think that the setup at the moment favors the uh, the dollar. How far it can go, I don't know, but okay. So the treasuries must be falling down because of the ECB press conference.
Let's not
Well,
make this personal, says I will do it. Have not yet.
hmm, doesn't mean I have to go back and reset up this stuff that I had set up on the charts. Yes. Okay, so far it's just a retracement and a touch of the overnight low.
Vlad Stolyarov says F flat TWTR up BC of Pins earnings yesterday AH.
Mm. The funny thing is I think it shows how clueless I am because it's not like I haven't looked at myself in the camera, although when I look at myself in the camera, you can't see it. And I probably did look at myself in the mirror and I just didn't notice. Better. Okay. Darn. You'll do it, but you haven't yet. Yeah. So I was looking through everything yesterday and I was like, "Oh yeah, he has the subscription. We should get him set up." And I'm going to have some videos out on Monday that explain them all the options and stuff.
Rob Farley says did somebody mention ninja indicators?
Yeah, well, I was saying if you're an elite subscriber, you can go to speculatorset.com and install the indicators and follow the directions to get your subscription activated because we've got everything shored away with Ninja Traders, so we're good to start going full on with it. You see how the 23 is pulling? They know. Ooh, look at that churn in the E-mini. That's curious. Ta-da! That worked really well. That one might be workable. I might have even been able to go for 2 with that, but well, pretty lucky that I even got filled at 23. That's interesting, though. The Guard says quarter 3 GDP could surprise the upside, but quarter 4 will likely be to the downside, and adds November will be very negative. Yeah, because of the coronavirus, I'm sure. Mm-mm. So there they took it at 23 again. Would I like to try it again? Well, I feel like they hit into it a little bit too easily, but I'm not convinced that those are informed traders hitting at 23. There are reasons why we're moving down, though, right? Especially with the ECB talking and everything. Just holding, though. Okay, that was a good move there in the E-mini. You're starting to look a little overdone again, but I want to rub my eyes so bad now. Huh? Oh, man. It's pretty strong retail pressure there in the E-mini. They're all sitting there. They all want the fills. They're all putting bids in. Oh, look, we will fill you. Fauci on CNBC. Well, I haven't spoken to the president in quite a while about the situation with regard to the outbreak. No, I would think not. So a little bit of clicking around here. What's this guy doing? He's up at 78.25. All right. It was like an offer that I think really wanted to get filled or something. We're not going to call it deflation. It's negative inflation to make sure it looks like we're doing our job. You get me, Geezer? That's funny. We can't be in deflation if you call it something different. Ugh. They really say, is that really what they're saying over there at the ECB? I find it so funny. No, when I watch the Twitter, it doesn't sound like anybody really has confidence in Laguard. Hmm. Okay, pending home sales, negative 2.2 versus 3.4 expected. Not good number. Hmm. No, I don't like that. Those look like I could have taken that one at 23 again. Darn. Hmm. Well, that's getting pretty sketchy all of a sudden, isn't it? I know what I was thinking with that trade. Okay. Just short of a new high there. There's a new high. Oh my. How high can this go? Okay. My oh my. I was thinking, should I hold out for the 40? Well, there's a lot of clicking going on right there. Kind of looks like they want to push it a little bit further. I do see some potentials, like they're trying to get some stops here. I'm so glad this GDP number hit before November the 3rd. Man. I'm not sure it was that amazing. Oh, I missed that one. That was a fast. I was like, oh, 80 maybe. And then when I looked over it, it had already hit it and bounced. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, there's a little bit of a turn there, potentially. Slow again. That might go up to my target, but I don't like that somebody's trying to sweep it back down. Like that.
Vlad Stolyarov says HFT alert said that was by programs on spy off lows and that's great news, but I just opened platform.
Oh, really? I don't like that one where I took the sell and it went right against me, because I'm looking at it now and I'm like, well, so obvious that it was going to go up. Like, it was not. It was not like a negative trend day or anything. But other than that, I'm going to call it a mistake. The trading has been really good for me today. And I did decide that I'm calm enough about the eye thing to have taken that. So I was still a little freaked out about it. I was a bit at 79.
Vlad Stolyarov says maybe wear computer glasses to reduce glare too.
Oh, I don't know if I need that. I need to rub my eyes more gently, apparently. I do rub my eyes a lot because they get watery.
James Rice says Target was acquired but demarcation was breached.
Wait, are we talking about those Tom DeMark number stuff? Or are you just using it in the literal definition that it's the limits or boundaries of something? Right now they went and they tagged 3287, which is right about where they should, and you can see why the big guys were trying to pressure them up there. And now that they've touched it, I'm okay with letting them chill here for a little bit. So I think you're probably going to see a lot of little chop in this area, and then we decide where our next thing is. This area in the profile is quite odd, don't you think? It's not normal to create a profile that's so square like that. So I think that what might happen is we might trade in that area for a while until one of these prices, till they get a real profile. And it does look like they're going to form it down in this 79 area. I think it could be something like this. LaGuard read out a comma? What? It's so interesting with the LaGuard thing that, like, I felt like that she says the right things and speaks well, but like the financial community clearly doesn't. And the whole reason that she was put in there was so that she could be a good spokesperson. But it seems like that because she doesn't really understand the economics as well, that the financial community just doesn't respect her. Okay, so back to buyer cost basis now.
Vlad Stolyarov says this looks like uneasy market. Vlad Stolyarov says wants 73-72s to be support. Vlad Stolyarov says anything lower we can keep chopping.
Hmm. It's just reading something about my eye again, and it looks like that. I'll still call them, but it sounds like that there's nothing that they need to do or say about it. So, this is interesting. The guy posting on my combine. I want to share my experiences with
Vlad
your
Stolyarov
thing.
says eBay down on earnings minus 9%.
Ouch, really? You know, eBay hasn't been as good. You know what the problem with eBay is you get these people out there that like are bidding everything freaking up. You gotten that? It's like you can't win in auctions anymore. They separate from PYPL. I don't know. Used to be one. Yeah, I every time that I've tried an auction, somebody will come in at the last second and sweep it up. And it's almost like if I don't do anything, then it goes for this ridiculous price. And then if I do something, they bid it up. I only use buy now. Yeah. But I think that what can happen is you can create two accounts or whatever and bid up your own item. You know what I mean? So if somebody else is actually starts going in, then you bid it up until they don't bid up anymore. You know, that sort of a thing. Yeah, front run it. They front run you, and they're probably using scripts, so they always win the item, unless you like really pay up. But I mean, the gist of it is that you can't really get super great deals on eBay anymore. I don't feel. I have more success going to the going to the local classified ads and doing it that way. Anyways, let's see here. This guy. I want to share my experiences with Earn to Trade. I've done quite a few gauntlets. On 4 of them, I passed and received funding. I was able to make some money with the first one and withdraw it. The next 3, I was up and down, but ultimately lost. I think it is possible to pass the gauntlet or combine, but it is really difficult. The business model is definitely aimed to make money from traders who will keep paying their gauntlet or combine fees. One of the problems with the prop firms is they don't have realistic goals. Yep. Anyways, that's a good comment, dude. Well, they're coming back up again, but I still think that they're just going to want to fill this area of the profile out a little bit more. There's little doubt that the ECB will act in December. I guess they just want to wait until after the election first. ECB act on what? More or less negative rates, please. They're not. Yeah, negative. They're. It's not deflation. It's negative inflation, Gary. Negative inflation. Winter collection words never uttered in a Draghi ECB. Just these guys, they don't like him. They don't like her. They want Draghi back. Why did Draghi leave, by the way? What was his? I forget what the reason was. It was like something else he was going to, right? Or was he just been at it too long? And my baby. Yeah, I know. No, we'll be okay. What the heck? What is this? Ian Shepherdson just tweeting a random picture. And it's a guy with a rocket pack made out of pressured water bottles. I mean, it kind of worked. Or maybe that's just him jumping. Well, they've traded quite a bit of volume down at 23 now. The ECB will have negative rates for 20 years? What? You think so, huh? Well, I'll tell you what, the euro doesn't look very good. So this morning, Mr. Brannigan was saying that the euro is going to go to 1.15, and we're at 1.169. There's another move higher in the indexes. I think they're going to try and push it to 32.90 again. Well, I mean, the stop out zone. Vaccine trial in Moscow has been halted because they don't have enough vaccine doses. You forgot that the financial juice guy just forgot to turn his microphone off. He read that out and he's like, yes, ECB is stuck in negative upon negative rates. It's been 10 years and 10 more. They haven't really been, well, let's go look. ECB interest rate. That doesn't show negative rates. What's with that? It hasn't been 10 years, though. Did these charts just not show it? Oh, there you go. Okay. You're right. Some of them have been negative for that long. Not the lending rate, but the deposit rate. There's another iceberg at 23. Well, they went and touched the stop out line there in the E-mini. And they might have some more juice in them, but for now it looks like they're struggling to push it. You're targeting 97? Oh, actually, it's not unreasonable. They apparently they picked up a couple of shorts right there, so you can see them. Oh yeah, all of these guys right here. They could potentially push us up to 97. Yeah. Alex, I wanted to get your thoughts on this article. You can't post a link in the chat without moderator privileges. You have to send it to me on Discord. Discussing the divergence between the VIX and credit spreads. Oh, that sounds like really interesting and beyond my expertise. Well, I have to read that. Probably, though, I think that you're going to see that there have been divergences between the VIX and a lot of things, because a lot of retail traders have gotten their hands on options and are abusing them. Oh, there we go. Sabbath Capital's Boaz Weinstein predicts credit chaos around the U.S. election. I can't read it. It's on Bloomberg. Do you have a Bloomberg subscription? He predicts it could unravel in an incredible move around the November 3rd election. Gotcha. I have to look at it. Well, actually, can we... Link. No, I just want to copy the link. Okay. If I open an incognito window and visit it, will it let me read the full article? No. Boo. How are you reading it? Digital, $9.99 a month. After a 3-month introductory offer. I really hate that kind of stuff. That's how the cable gets you. Is Bloomberg really worth $34 a month? I'm not sure. Not sure it is. I need to come in here and change something. I need to get rid of these labels. The labels that you get in NinjaTrader, the top of the chart, is the most annoying part of NinjaTrader. Like, give us an option to just get rid of that. To just never show it. Because, like, seriously. That's a little bit better. $34 a month is cheap for Bloomberg? Well, so let me rephrase the question. Is $34 a month an acceptable price for Bloomberg compared to alternatives? Right. Like, the issue that I have with the new subscription services is that I'm only going to get like one service for $34 a month. So I better be sure that it's really the one that I'm going to make the most use of. So I have a list. Where's my list? I have a list of them all somewhere. I was kind of doing some research on it. Yeah, they're still going. News services. So CNBC Pro, there's $30. Bloomberg is 35 or 40, depending on which one you get. Financial Times is 40. Wall Street Journal is 22. The Economist is 190. Wait, is that for real? Wait. The Economist. View subscription options. I don't know why I thought that it was $195. Digital, 25, 25, and then 25 for 12 weeks, then 55. Financial Times is more like 500 a year. No. Okay, so there's The Economist. Financial Times. I have to say that the Financial Times, more than anything else, is the one that I click, I see links from, and I'm like, oh, I really wish that I could use it. Subscribe. Digital, $39.50 per month. Or if you want the paper delivered on Monday, you can pay $200 for a year. Plus, the Financial Times is a little bit more internationally focused, which I feel like would be better suited for trading treasuries, which is what I'm really interested in. I don't know. Anyways, so there's the Financial Times. Okay. There's Macro Hive is one that I found that's pretty good. 39 pounds. I don't know what it is in dollars. Then I started looking at like trading magazines specifically. I actually could probably add some more to this because I went and I found, so I'll show you some of these are actually really interesting stuff. The Journal of Financial Markets. Now, the thing is that a lot of stuff you will get, you can get for free, actually. Latest issue. Okay, so a lot of, well, actually, some of these you can't. I've seen some where you can download them. Intraday market making with overnight inventory costs. See, this is our stuff. They actually have some really good scholarly articles about it. Now, if I want to subscribe to it, I forget how where that's shown. It's a lot though. It's a lot. Open access options. What is that? Order journal. Annual subscription is $1,000. $1,000 for print. For e-journal, you can request a quote. Lame. And nothing shows. Oh, wait. Request a quote. You have to send a message in. About your organization. I don't know. All your subscriptions are tax exempt. Oh, well, that's a good point. You're totally right. Well, it's as a cost to your business, except for that to be able to deduct those things, your business has to be making a certain amount of money per year, right? Isn't it? So you have to be making more than like $15,000 a year or something like that. I don't think that I personally would qualify. But oh, here is the text of the Bloomberg article. Thank you. Yeah, no, they changed. Deduct business expenses. Let's go look it up. IRS. To be deductible, the business expense must be both ordinary and necessary. Blah, 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 blah. Maybe it has. I thought that it changed. That was a recent change in the Donald Trump tax cuts. Yeah, it doesn't say it on that page, but deduct on your personal and just itemize. Okay, I'll try it. But again, the issue is not that I can't get a subscription. It's that I don't know which one to do. You know what I mean? Like, let me put it this way. Like, if I go to the Bloomberg homepage right now, okay, Bloomberg.com. How many articles am I going to see that I like are really interested in reading? Well, I already kind of know that one. Opinion, who cares? Bitcoin rally getting added boost from wrapped crypto tokens. I don't know. I mean, this is good news and stuff, but $34 worth of good news? Not that I can see. Okay, so there's rates and bonds. Rates and bonds. There's some articles, and it shows me some stuff, but before it's here, it's on the Bloomberg terminal. Learn more. You know, so yeah, that's just kind of okay. So then I start to think, oh, like what I would really like is I would like to know, like, I want like journals or magazines that kind of keep me up on the latest trading discoveries and methods and stuff, right? Oh, by the way, the Treasury fall back down again hard. So hard. Might want to try this trade again. Yeah, try it. Anyways, so, like I go through them all and it's like, how do I compare? Like, which one is the best? And it just kind of all feels like the same thing to me. And then I ask myself, am I actually going to make more than $34 off of this information? I'm not. I just find Viz. Let's check that out. I'll check it. It's a stock screener. Eh. Got a nice little heat map there. So I want this to be like hyper risk adverse. So if they pull at 119.5, I'm going to be out. Well, I don't like the way that the 32 stacked on me. The E-mini's still pushing. Okay. Good. That one looks better. Anyways, I'm sure there's a lot of other bus sites that are like smaller. Interestingly enough, though, there really isn't anything that's really well geared towards a retail trader that I've found. Maybe there just hasn't been enough money in it in the past or something. Because retail traders don't really seem to care too much about news. Sure sounds like Gary is rooting for Bloomberg, though. What about Quay? I do remember you talking about Quayfin. But they're just like a screener, right? Data and analytics platform for researching stocks and understanding market trends. Pretty cool. There's top trending financial news from a variety of sources. Global economics. I mean, I'm on it. Like I have like one of their free accounts or whatever. It just wasn't like the not the kind of information that I was looking for. So like let me give you examples. So like I feel that the best place that I can find right now for the kind of stuff I'm looking for, let's say, is Zero Hedge. I know, right? But like, this is just a great example right here. Okay, large lot stock sellers surge as Varshok forces major degrossing flows. This is freaking exactly what I want to read. Despite the scary stock market headlines, there was no real panic yesterday as the selling felt faintly mechanical and controlled as the market pulled down through 3,300. However, large lot sellers were very evident as Nomura's Charlie McElligott notes, as asset managers reduced their exposure from the 93rd percentile since 2006, creating an additional source of supply into this move. It's perfect. Like this is telling me something that's useful, like directly useful to my trading about what's going on in the market. We're getting a VAR shock. Market structure where volatility acts as your exposure toggle, the multi-day jump in realized volatility crashing up to implied volatility. Means that systemic rules-based investors will mechanically generate degrossing flows because positions in light of volatility are now too large and have to be sized down. Ba-ba-da. Right? Not only are you learning something about what's going on right now, but you learn something about the market and how certain strategies work, right? Certain strategies use the VIX to determine how large their position should be, and if the VIX goes up, then they reduce their size. You know what I mean? So, like, the thing is that I'll come to Zero Hedge, and I'll try and find the stories that are like this. Okay, van full of explosives discovered. That's maybe kind of interesting. Pending home sales. Yes, great. Okay. Coronavirus. Okay. Good. All hell could break loose. Well, that one actually would be interesting to read too. There's a lot of nonsense on there, though. Will a non-political silent majority stop the left? This is where it's like, okay, that might actually be pertinent to my interests. Like, I bet you I would enjoy that article, but that's exactly the kind of stuff that I'm not looking for. I want data and research and somebody really doing a deep dive into the data and what's going on in the markets that can tell me something that I can potentially use in my trading, right? Can I potentially use that in my trading? Yeah. So, like, I go to Zero Hedge and I get these articles like that where it's like freaking, there's all these charts and here's a bunch of different scenario created and, numbers and specific levels. And this is good. This is good shit. But I don't, when I go to Bloomberg, where's the articles like that? Well, let's read this one. The economy. Well, they won't let me read too much of it. It's just repeating the numbers. Meh. You know what I mean? So I've kind of been waiting because I'm totally willing to spend $40 a month. I totally am. But I'm just not seeing the service that gives me what I want. Well, did they go through that, huh? I guess I got lucky there at 19.5. This is turning into a disaster in the treasuries. It's kind of interesting how that all worked out because when I got here in the beginning, I wanted to be short, but it was just kind of not really working out. And then it came up here to this 27. And I thought maybe 27. And it, gadoosh. Bloomberg is news, not teaching you trading. But is Zero Hedge teaching you trading? Well, that's a separate thing, right? It'd be so like, here's another really good example. So Futures Magazine. This would be if we wanted to learn more about trading specifically from experts in the retail trading world. I'm not sure how valuable that is, but if that's what we wanted, hey, this could be great. Okay. So are you a day trader or a swing trader? That's cool. 40 per, well, these are the most popular in the past, like forever. How long? Saudi princess lost control and makes all-out assault on allies. Top 5 futures brokers. So this is okay. That's okay. Good stuff, right? But we're going through looking at the front page, and I pulled out one thing to click on and read. Are you a day trader or a swing trader? The time frame. How great actually is this? Swing traders make their trading decisions based on longer time frames, such as a 60-minute chart and higher. You should swing trade instead of day trade. I get you. Wrap up. Did it actually tell me anything though that I don't already know? I could have written this. Like for real, right? So when I go to Futures Mag, it's like, okay, this is the kind of publication that I would like to subscribe to, but I'm not getting the volume and quality of content that I would really expect if I was paying for a subscription. How much is their subscription here? They still have a subscription? Become smarter every morning. Oh. This is just a newsletter, so I guess you can't pay for them anymore. They're kind of in the middle of changing their business model, I think. Pelosi on a news conference soon? Well, you know what she's going to say, though, right? She's just going to do everything she can to blame it on Donald Trump. Anyways, these ones are cool. So Koifin is cool. You know what? The one that I found that is really good was AK Analytical Kinetics showed me this one. Simply Wall Street. So you can look one up. So, like, who should we look up? Tupperware brands. Scholar Rock Holding. What is that? 213%. Well, let's find out what kind of a company they are. They're a health company. Clinical stage biopharmaceutical. Of course. It's always the pharmaceuticals, right? Okay, there's the price. Market. So this is where I'm like, this is great. Okay. 7-day return versus the industry and the market as a whole. All of the information that you actually need in one spot. Some significant pieces of news about them from these guys. At least valuation. Okay, price to book ratio, price to earnings. And then you got these graphs. I like it. I'll show these. Okay, price earnings growth, which is I always want to look at, but since they don't have earnings, I guess that's no good. Price to book. How much are they expected to grow? Here are the forecasts with the chart. Analysts. So it's a lot of information that you can kind of get from like Yahoo and so forth. But it's like when I go to Yahoo, I'm usually like, okay, what's the price earnings and what's the growth and calculating it myself. Right? Okay. Forecast annual revenue growth, company, industry, market. Cool. Like it's just like freaking everything that you would need to know about a company for your fundamental analysis on it. All clearly laid out to you. And it looks pretty. Now this one, I think, yeah. The investor plan is $80 a month. But you get unlimited company reports, unlimited companies per portfolio, unlimited total portfolios. Cool. I'm not sure what the difference is between this and the professional plan. Oh, export to PDF and CSV. So if you want to be able to take their data and do your own analysis on it on a spreadsheet, you've got to pay over $200 if you bill it yearly. I'll stick with the free. Koyfin, I guess, is kind of similar, right? Koyfin pricing. Oh, are we already on? It's currently free. Data coverage, fixed income, advanced graphing, watch lists. Da, da, da. News and Twitter. Oh, I need to log in. Pretty sure I have an account. Da, 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 da. Double yields. Yeah. How do I get to top news? Nah. It's okay. Oh yeah, so here's one. Seeking Alpha. Subscriber. Okay, so you get add light. Chop ideas and pro content. Okay, hold on. Seeking Alpha 1999 or Pro for 199. 99. Okay, Gary's got an article for us here. Why companies can't afford to create life-saving drugs. There you go. I have to read that later. That's from nature.com. Journal information. Yeah, it can come back pretty hard there in the treasury. I think we could trade 19. Oops. Yeah, I might have missed my chance. E-mini look pointed up. They've got lots of room. Oh, yeah. Well, they're kind of at the stop out zones, though, so I'm not sure I want that one. I think maybe I should have scratched that one. What? What? Did you guys see that? Where is that?
Block cell.
4K added and removed. Gonna tweet that one out. Can I see the over here? Oh, I can't see it. That's it. Oh yeah, no, I can't see it. And then a big 3K. Tweet, 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 tweet. Well, I'm okay with it. How did that work? Yeah. I basically like doubled down on that one, but it's cool. And I got out at 18 half. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, that was a good trade. Dude. I am hold on, where's my filters? Filter editor. I forget how to do this correctly. Okay. So I got 50-50. This one I don't think I should have done. This one I think I should have broken even on. But I got 3 ticks overall on it. And I probably could have done more if I had started doing this earlier. I think I might have actually. I'm going to try doing this a little bit more. I think I might have found a good, really low, really low alpha trade that we could pull out. How's trading been recently? I remember a while ago you took a big loss and said you wouldn't be able to trade live. Yeah, when was that? That was like the end of September, wasn't it? But, you know, well, there's been a lot of screwing around, so it's kind of tough to see. I've been doing good this week. I had a lot of frustrating days last week. I don't know. It seems for some reason. Oh, that was last year? No, no, no. I've gone on and off. I had a pretty good period earlier this year, and then the pandemic came along. And then I had another really good period from the summer, and then the volatility picked up again. Oh yeah. I'm feeling really good about this thing that I've been. Yeah, what's with my eye? We don't know. I think that I broke a blood vessel. Somebody pointed it out earlier to me. I need to go and call the doctor. It doesn't feel good. It's like a bruise in my eye. Ugh. Yeah, I should go call them. Oh, Pelosi is still speaking. Anyways, yeah, I've had a hard time finding consistency with the e-mini. I'm starting to understand the book over there a little bit better, so we'll see. I think we got a couple more things to test, and we're still not quite there. Mm-mm. But I'm not going to be putting any money at risk until after the election because this has just been ridiculous. Last week was so ridiculous. And then this month, yesterday was a crazy day, and finally getting a pullback today, though. Okay, well. Anyways, if you guys have any suggestions for subscription news, magazines, journals, etc., related to trading, let me know because I want to make like the complete list, and then we'll like go and get the trial for all of them and like try them all or something like that. Okay, well, I think that's all I've got for today. I want to go call my doctor. And yeah. So I will see you guys tomorrow, Friday. Can you believe it's Friday? Yesterday felt like the week was going really fast, but once you get over that Wednesday, man. Okay. Well, I will see you guys later. What should we call today's stream? Let's make a video about this because I want to be able to find it again. I want to be able to look for the eye. I'm just going to say, what's with my eye? That's what I'm going to call it. Okay. If you have better ideas, you could put them in the comments. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay profitable.